Good morning, folks. It's March 1st on a nice, wet, cold day. It's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. The snow is melting, and spring's around the corner. You can hear the birds sing in the background, and it's almost here. These are the last vestiges of winter. And today I want to give you a little tour of my small little fruit orchard that I have in my backyard. That's how I like to call it. It's not even close to being an orchard, but well, it's quite a few trees for a small plot that I have. And right here immediately I have a kefir pear. I just planted this tree last year. It's starting to bud out nicely. You can see some buds that are coming out there. So hopefully I can get some pears out of this tree in this year or maybe next year. Next to it I have a peach tree. This one sets peaches, I think, around June, I want to say. June. I'm not sure if it's this one or the other one. But I have them stacked. That as one finishes its production, the other one starts producing. I think this one goes out first in June. And don't ask me what kind of peach it is because I don't remember. It's just big peaches, real juicy. Basically, any tree that you grow in your backyard and you cut the fruit, it's going to be good. Because you're cutting it when it's ripe, not when the store cuts it, which is kind of green, and then they just let it ripen in a warehouse. So it doesn't matter what kind of peach it is. More than anything, more than the class of peach that you have, you gotta be sure that you don't get a fruit or stone fruit that flowers too early and you live in a cold winter, because then an ice storm or something will knock all the flowers down and you don't get production for that year. So it becomes like a big bushy tree but doesn't produce anything. So you got to look at that more than that variety. Next here I have a little apple tree. I think this is Yellow Delicious, and it's been in the ground for about 2 years. So hopefully this year I'll get something. The limbs though are all pointing upwards, so that's not a good sign for an apple tree. They need to be almost pointing at 90 degrees, 90 degrees from the main trunk, or maybe 60 degrees. Basically it's got to open to the sides so that it sets fruit better. But I think it's okay. Hopefully it'll set fruit this year. I mean, nobody prunes trees in the wilderness and they still produce fruit, right? So let it be. Down here I have a little fig bush that it doesn't seem to have died in the winter. It's starting to, I think it's starting to set little buds, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. It's green right there, so it's good, I think. And here I have another fig bush. This one always seems to die in winter, so I might just take it out. It gives me some real good figs, but every spring it starts from the bottom because all the branches die out in winter. So it's not a good variety for my zone. And here it's another fig tree. This one didn't die over winter, so this one I just put in last year, and this is going to produce some good figs. I think this is a brown turkey or a Celeste. I'm not sure. Texas everbearing bush or figs, and it's green. I can tell it's green from here. So this one hopefully gives me some good figs this year. Here's another apple tree. It's a small apple tree, and you can see that when I bought them, there were just little whippy trees, and I basically cut them knee-high right here and let them grow from there. I don't want them to go too big. This is a gala apple tree, and right next to it I have a cherry tree that has yet to produce anything. This one too is on the chopping block because, well, if it doesn't produce, it doesn't need to be taking up space in my little garden. And right at the corner I have a apricot, I think, or nectarine. It's a nectarine tree. This has been in place for about 2 seasons now, and you can see it's starting to have a lot of buds here, so I'm pretty sure this one's going to produce like crazy this year. It only produced about 5 nectarines last year, but that's just because I had planted it in March or something. So now in the second season it should produce quite a bit. It's loaded, I can see it already. And right neighboring to it, right next to it, it's another peach tree, and this is the one that I mentioned previously that is stacked with the first peach tree that I mentioned. and I think this one goes into production around late July, mid-July to early August. So it says real good fruit also. And over here I have a persimmons tree, a small persimmons, and this one I just planted last year. I had bought another fruit tree that died, and I took it back to the store and they couldn't replace it, so they just gave me this one, and I said, okay, well, let me give it a try. I had a couple of fruits last year. No, they were pretty good actually. So I think it's a Japanese persimmons tree, not the American persimmons, it's the Japanese. And this is a Fuju persimmons. And going out here, have another apple tree right here. This one's been in the ground for about 5 years, and it's yet to produce a single apple. It's starting to tick me off. So I'm going to stop the camera and go to the front and show you a couple more trees that I have over there. The last 2 trees on the property are this plum tree. It's about 5 years old and it's full of buds right now. It hasn't lost any to the ice storms that we had last week, so it looks promising at this point. And let me show you the other tree that I have here on my property, and it's a plua tree. And this one I was afraid that it might lose its buds and flowers because we had an ice storm last weekend, but they seem to have held up just okay. And well, let's see how it does. I'm not sure. I think it's gonna do okay, and it's loaded, so yeah, I'm a little bit encouraged to think that the tree is gonna do nicely. One thing about trees in your property, folks, is that I think they add value to your property, because most people will plant regular oaks and crepe myrtles and decorative vegetation, and that's all good and fine, and they do add value to your house, especially big oaks. I mean, I love those trees. But fruit trees, they really add value to a house, because once they start producing fruit, you're eating fruit the whole summer through fall. And I think that could be a marketing feature whenever you put a house for sale on the market, that it has 10-12 trees of 10 or 12 fruit trees on it, and they produce X amount of fruit every year. Somebody that's looking to save a few bucks every year and feed some healthy stuff to their families may pay attention to that. Then again, you may get some jerk that just chops off the trees and puts a turf of grass and some swing sets. Well, that's their choice. But anyway, thanks for watching, and take care, stay warm, and until next time, thank you.